There we go. We should be live. Welcome back to another live stream. Pro Cycling Manager 2025 is back, and it's a new year, 2026. So I can't wait to get started with some more Pro Cycling Managers, some other content on the plate coming up pretty soon. But honestly, let's just have some fun today. That is the plan. We are not doing many races though, but we'll get into that in a second here. First of all, let's say hello to chat. How are you, everyone? Welcome to the chat. I'll wait a couple of minutes before we start. In the meanwhile, you might see that my background is slowly but surely changing. I spent yesterday morning building an entire IKEA wardrobe slash sideboard slash bookshelf thing because I'm trying to revamp my office a little bit to make it more reasonable and better looking to work with in the next year. And yeah, you can see it in the background. Yeah, I gave it a better spot. The Lego Baradur that I built a week and a half ago. Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you, Will. Thank you very much, Kolbe. Wojciech, is that the correct pronunciation? If yes, I am doing pretty good. Can't complain. Good evening. Okay, so today's plan is not actually doing that much when it comes to racing on Pro Cycling Manager. If anything, we're not going to be racing at all. Some of you might have seen it coming. I've seen it in the comment section of the last video, actually the last live stream, that is. We are going to jump into our career mode, which is our Siroko for endurance career mode, or should I say, or Dacia Siroko for endurance career mode, because we got an extra sponsor and it's our main sponsor, a car manufacturer. So Dacia is going to be bringing in big money into our team. So I'm not complaining about that. I'm enjoying that aspect of it. I am going to be spending my time on season preparation in this live stream. So we'll go shortly over the riders to remind ourselves who we signed in the first place and what type of riders they are, before then jumping into the actual planning of the season, selecting the races for each rider. I don't think that that we'll be able to round it up, complete it all today, but I want to set the basic stakes of our season planning in today's live stream, and then obviously for the people that just follow the YouTube videos and not the live streams, it will be a part of next week's or the next Siroko video that comes out. So if you miss this live stream, you're not exactly missing much outside of the decision making on races that I do actually enjoy doing. And if you're in the chat, you can also have input on my calendar of my team. So I reckon that should be fun. Welcome to the chat, Rowdy. Hello, Bill. Welcome to the chat. Do I know anything about the World DB 2026 is a question by Lack N1. I don't. So the one thing I do know is that I expect the World DB 2026 to exist. And I don't know when that release will come. That is the reality of this situation. Happy New Year, Tom. Welcome to the chat. So, my first activity for the new year is the season preparation stream. We're going to change all these race objectives pretty soon. For example, top 20 at Milano Sanremo. I'm sorry, but I can do that in my sleep. Top 20 in Etruria Basque Country. We should be able to do a lot better than top 20 in that race as well, I would hope. Stage top 3 at Tour de France, stage top 3 at La Vuelta. We're all going to change all these season objectives, at least the race objectives, at some point. Maybe in this live stream, maybe in the next Sirocco video. But the actual thing I'll be looking into today is, first of all, the riders. I want to take a look at our team, remind ourselves who we have. Obviously, we had Ivan Romeo, but the reality is, chat, that Ivan Romeo was such a massive part of our team that we were kind of fully dependent on him. Yes, Kopecky won maybe 3 World Tour victories, which is valuable in terms of UCI points, but if we look closely at the amount of UCI points we had in the last season, then Romeo was taking up the majority of those UCI points because winning Tour Down Under, winning a Vuelta stage and a Tour de France stage, if I recall correctly, in 2026, so all that matters. But now in 2027, the new season, we signed a couple more riders, Chad. Lorenzo Finn, who is I would argue, a pretty solid rider. 6-star potential in stage races and climbers, so 78 mountain already at the age of 20. That is a ridiculously talented rider. We also had the issue last season that we wrote the classics. We wrote the classics. Actually, we didn't write the classics because Kopetsky was injured. That's the point I'm trying to make. So to strengthen our classics team, next to Kopetsky then, we signed Samuel Watson with 76 cobble, which is valuable, but also to be honest, a solid lead-out rider too. A versatile lead-out, 74 Hillstad and 73 sprint. And then we've got the other guy. Who's the other guy we signed? Lukasz Kubisz. There we go. He's 74 cobble and actually a pretty similar rider to Kopetsky in general, but I think that combination will be pretty solid, I would say. So I would consider those three signings to be super important for us. Now, there's also strong domestiques like Igor Arieta coming from UAE Team Emirates being 74 mountain, 75 medium mountain. That's a very valuable domestique. The same with Balint Veldhofer with 72 mountain, but 75 Hillstad. So more of a punchy guy. I think another mention or worth mentioning rider is, where is he at? 18 years old, Benjamin Noval, 5.5 star potential on climber, only 5-star overall potential. I'm kind of disappointed, Chad, because when we signed him, he was 5.5 star provisional potential because we were scouting him. So I kind of expected him to become 6-star potential and not 5. Because in real life, I would argue he has the potential to at least have 5.5 on Pro Cycling Manager right now. So I think that's a bit sad because I was hoping for a slightly better Benjamin Noval. Now he's kind of just a strong World Tour rider that can potentially fight for GC in a Grand Tour instead of a guy that's destined to win Grand Tours, which is the one I was looking for. So I think it's clear that the man who will be carrying our team in 3 to 4 years is Lorenzo Finn, if not already in the next 2 years. Now, before we continue, I'll take a look at chat for a second. Wojciech in chat says, a quick question to chat and you, Benji. Do you watch cyclocross racing and do you enjoy it? I really like it to fill in the space of normal racing, normal cycling season. I enjoy watching it when I do, but I actually don't really watch it very often, if at all. And the reason is that I'm kind of the opposite than you in the sense that you're looking at cyclocross to fill in the space between the cycling seasons. I look at the 2 months between the cycling seasons as an escape from the sport for a little bit before I can jump back in refreshed, fully ready for the new season. So that's how I personally see it. But obviously I did cyclocross a week and a half ago at the Turbocross in Belgium, and having done an actual cyclocross race myself, I can tell you, my respect for CXers has gone up exponentially in the last 2 weeks. But we've gone through our riders. Obviously, we'll have to go through them a few more times today because we'll have to figure out, okay, what is this rider strong at? What schedule would fit this rider? But I think the first thing to do will be taking a look at our calendar because we need to select the races we want to ride. And I'll allow you, the chat, to have input on this because I'm not completely concluded on which calendar I do want to ride. But I do think the overall message will be similar to the last season. We sent Romeo and our riders to smaller 1-week races to try and get victories, and not necessarily to a Paris-Nice, Tirreno-Adriatico where the top level riders would be, with the goal of avoiding the best riders and getting results in the smaller World Tour races like Tour Down Under. So Tour Down Under will once again be on the schedule because Romeo won it last year, and I think it would be cool if we could try and hunt for the victory again. What does the parcours look like though? Let us take a look. Starting off with a flat sprint. Flat sprint afterwards. Then I like that. Punchy climb with a downhill run to the finish. Sounds fun. Slightly uphill sprint on stage 4. Flat sprint on stage 5. And Willunga Hill on stage 6. So a pretty classic Santos Tour Down Under. I would say it's a pretty old variant most likely. I like it. I definitely want to ride that. So that's going to be on our schedule. By the way, chat, if on this screen my face cam is better off being on the left than on the right, tell me, then I'll switch it around. I have never... live streaming my season preparation, it's been a while since I've done that, so I don't know where my camera is better off being. So shout at me if I need to change something. But what do we do, chat, after the Tour Down Under? So we're doing Tour Down Under. I haven't decided who goes yet, but considering our team is still very Spanish focused, Dacia being a Spanish company in the game, don't know if that's the case in real life as well. Obviously, Siroko being a cycling kit sponsor from Asturias Gijón in Spain, obviously. They're also a sponsor of our team, and that results in Spanish races being slightly more important. And if that's the case, then I am feeling like I want to do the Mallorca challenges before I jump into potentially Valenciana and Andalusia. And I know that's similar to what we had last season, but I think it would work, especially because if you look at the parkour of Andalusia, then we've got a time trial in there of 13 kilometers, which means that could be Romeo territory combined with medium mountain stages. Is this a similar parkour than last year? I think stage 1 is a lot harder. But I reckon it might be fun to send Romeo to Andalusia or something and make him do the Spanish races in February. That vibe I am feeling. I want your take in the chat, by the way. Anyone watching, if you see something, say it. I swear that's the sentence that is said in train stations in the UK when to try and campaign against pickpocketing. Like, if you see something, say something, or I don't know. Sorry, off topic. Anyway, what's the parkour of Valenciana like? Ooh, versatile sprint. Is that climb very hard? 7k 5.5%. Maybe a versatile sprinter gets over that. Then an easier climb on stage 2. So that's definitely versatile sprinter territory. Flat sprint. And then Valdebo, which is a very steep climb right here, the Alta Miserat, before we finish on the shorter Valdebo climb. I think in real life the Valdebo climb is longer, but we only do a portion of it on this stage. But that's a medium mountain stage, so kind of shouting Romeo territory, if I'm really honest. But that is also because I know Romeo so well that I think of Romeo so quickly, you know? Anyway, like we know the parkour of the Mallorca challenges, right? Calvia is versatile. So I'll switch side on my camera. Is a versatile sprint territory. Then Cesalines is flat sprint. Tramuntana is probably punchers sprinting against each other. I don't know if my versatile sprinter is going to survive a 14-kilometer climb. Not sure about that. Poyentia is puncher uphill finish. And then Palma is a flat sprint once again. Casper in chat is asking, will these Siroko streams be turned into YouTube videos as well? I will make a YouTube video about my season preparation. I will record that tomorrow. And that video will come out in the next week. So, in some form, yes. But this stream will go more in-depthly on the decision-making of the races. For example, are we going to do Tour Down Under? That's the decision I'm making on the live stream. But in the video, I'll just say, okay, this season we're doing Tour Down Under, these races. While here we're making the decision. So, I think it's still worth watching both if you're really invested in the series. But there will be a separate video covering everything when it comes to season preparation that is unmissable. Okay, so I'm feeling Down Under, I'm feeling Mallorca Challenge, I'm feeling Valenciana, I'm okay with Andalusia. We've got Murcia, Almeria, and Jaén. Those are one-day races in February. First of all, Murcia. Ooh, I like Murcia. 3.7k, 8.4%. That's a bit of a rampa. That's a good climb. I'm liking that. Then we've got Almeria, which is a flat sprint. And then Jaén, which is a Strade Bianche-like Spain race as always, but this is the hilly version. So I swear this is the more recent edition, because back in the day, the parkour was harder with bigger climbs, I think. So that's that. I think I'm okay with that schedule. Very Spanish focused. The question is, do we do Gran Camino? Ooh, 16-kilometer time trial. I won't, because I've done that parkour, I think, before. Did we do that last season or the year before? I think maybe in season 1. I'm going to skip Gran Camino. Vera Silva asks, Figueras Champions is fun. I agree, but I think it's on the same day as Almeria, maybe? Yes. It is a parkour that does fit us, though. Does it, though? 2.5k, 7%. It's quite hard. Ooh. I'm not sure I've decided whether I do that yet. I have not decided. Murcia is the... It's on Almeria. So Almeria is the flat one. I can do Figueras. Vera. There we go. Figuera Champions Classic is on the menu. Don't worry. We're coming. Then we've got Omloop Nieuwsblad. But the question is, do we do UAE Tour? Flat sprint. We don't have a pure sprinter. So that would be a waste of our time. But a 9-kilometer individual time trial, which Romeo does like those. But we can't send Romeo to everything, so... I think we're skipping the UAE Tour. That's quite a bit of UCI points potentially in the drain. Cadel Evans Great Ocean Road Race, no, because we're in Mallorca. I am looking at... Algarve, we're doing Andalusia. Do we also do Algarve at the same time? Flat sprint, medium mountain, 18-kilometer time trial. Wait a second. Wait a second, chat. Is it me? Look at this. So, we've got this parkour we went over earlier. Kind of a hard parkour. Like stage 1 is a proper mountain. I can lose time here against Lenny Martinez, for example. He can drop me on this climb. Tadej Pogacar is going to Andalusia. So, chat, we've decided we're not riding Andalusia. We're avoiding Tadej Pogacar at all costs. That is our game plan. So, I'm afraid that I'm going to have to scroll down this list and I'm going to remove Andalusia or... Chat, what do you think? Do I remove Andalusia or do I go to both Andalusia and Algarve at the same time? Because Algarve I have to go. That's Romeo territory. That's a must, I think. But Andalusia? Not sure what to think yet. I think I'll keep it in for now. And I'll monitor the chat to see whether you enjoy Andalusia or not. And maybe in the planning phase we can see whether it's too much or not. Luca in chat asks, do you like Vingegaard or Roglic? Oh, no. He's asking, are you like Vingegaard or Roglic? Trying to avoid Pogacar? Mate, we're not even close to being Vingegaard and Roglic. So we're trying to avoid everyone. we're trying to beat up weak riders here. That is the take. I'm going to try and move my camera a little bit. There we go. Very subtly. You didn't see that? There we go. Perfect. Centering me a little bit. Okay. So, I'm not taking on Var Alps because that's during Andalusia and Algarve. Tour de Rwanda I'm not doing, I'm sorry. For Ardèche Classic, nope. Omloop we are doing because we have multiple riders that could potentially... be competitive is a big word. Samuel Watson exists. And Kopetsky and Kubish, they could on paper, if they're on a good day, survive, I think. The question then is, do I do Kuurne? I think I do. I can definitely get our sprinters over the clowns, but the question is, can I then beat whoever survives? Because a Jonathan Milan in PCM survives the cobble hills in Kuurne versus Kuurne, you know? But I do think riding Omloop and Kuurne is a must, especially as a Belgian man like myself. Strade Bianche is on the menu. Oof. Who'd be going to that for our team? Well, we have no choice. We're a World Tour team, so we have to ride Strade Bianche. Paris Tirreno as well. This is where the schedule becomes really busy. To the Taiwan, nope. Do we go to smaller 1.1 races? That's not a 1.1 race, it's a 1.pro race. No Course. I don't know. It's a very busy schedule to do that, I think. But maybe a Lukas Kubic Kopetsky duo could potentially do these races, you know? Breden ook zeiden, what's the route like? GP Denain, a cobble classic. I like the idea though. I think I'm gonna jump into those races. Worst case, I race them on a live stream instead of a video, you know? If we have too many races on the schedule. Catalunya is definitely in because, well, it's a World Tour race. Classic Brugge de Panne is a completely flat sprint stage. We have no pure sprinter, despite it being World Tour. It's not a Class A World Tour race, so we can skip it. Then we've got E3 Saxo Classic. No choice, we have to ride it. I think that's pretty complete for the first quarter. I know, chat, I know I'm doing a lot of planning, but I am doing the full season because I am that kind of person. I like going through the entire schedule of the year and looking at which races I want to ride or not ride and add or remove them in the process. Dwars door Vlaanderen, one of the more doable classics for us. Don't care about all these races. Gran Premio Mikel Indurain. That's a fun combination with Itzulia, maybe. But then again, we've got RVV the day after. But Indurain is a race where we could be competitive. It's a 1.pro race, so quite a bit of UCI points. I think it's on the schedule, and we can maybe send the same people to Indurain that we sent to Itzulia Basque Country, and then send our cobble team at the same time to the Tour of Flanders there. Question in chat. Rowdy asks, can you do Milano Torino as a warm-up for Milano Sanremo? So we're doing Sanremo right here. Torino is on the same day as Nokere Koerse. It's a flat sprint Torino, so I won't. It's too flat. There's no... It doesn't look in the slightest like an MSR final, so if it was similar, then we could use the idea of, okay, it's kind of like a preparation edition before we start MSR, but I'm not feeling it, the similarities. Itzulia Basque Country. After that, we've got Roubaix. No choice, we have to ride it. Brabantse Pijl. Oof. I don't like the Brabantse Pijl on PCM too much because I feel like it always becomes like a versatile sprint between like Arnaud Delis and whoever's left. I don't feel like it. Amstel Gold Race, I have to ride Flesh Wallon as well. Vuelta a Asturias, Julio Alvarez. This is not the biggest race in the world. You and I both agree. But this race is in the exact province that our sponsor Siroko is from. So we have to support them. We have to go there for marketing purposes. That's the reality. Also, for the people that are new to the series is sponsored by quite a few brands, including Siroko. You can find a 10% discount link to their cycling kit in the description. So if you want to get yourself some cycling kit to ride your bike, go to Siroko.com and use the code BenjiNasen for 10% off. Hashtag ad. Tour of Turkey, I'm sorry, but I'm not doing that. Hello, Noe. Welcome to the chat. LBL Tour de Romandy. We have to do Romandy. Then Giro starts. Eschborn Frankfurt, I think I'm skipping. Then again, it's at the same time as the Giro. I don't know about you, but actually, isn't it? It's not at the same time as the Giro at all. It's during Romandy. I can do that. Yeah, why not? Why not? There we go. But I'm the kind of person that when there's a Grand Tour on my schedule, I don't really feel like riding a race at the same time. So that's why, for example, during the Giro, I don't feel like adding any race, even though realistically, I would have, in real life, a World Tour team would have part of their team doing other races at the same time of the Giro. For example, Tour de Hungary. But I honestly don't feel like it, if I'm honest. So I don't think it's happening. Matteo Germonpré says, do the French races during the Giro? Maybe. Is this the same parcours? Boucle de Lône and Morbihan? No, it's not. Just very similar. Classic Dunkerque is flat. Caterjuro Dunkerque starts the day after, so that's... I feel like we're seeing that more. Having a one-day race before the actual race. For example, the Muscat Classic before Tour of Oman. There's a bunch of those now on the schedule. I'm not really feeling it when it comes to the French races. Maybe Mercantour, because, well, it's a mountain stage and it's really fun to ride. That's potentially one we could do. But it's also a 1.1 race, so we're not going to get much UCI points from that. I'd rather focus on the Giro then, make sure we actually get the results there. Then, after the Giro, it is already June. Dauphiné, Tour de Suisse. During the Dauphiné, we could potentially do some Belgian 1.1 races. They're all just flat sprints, though. Then again, I would like to ride Antwerp-Port Epic with our Cobble squad. Then again, it depends which Grand Tour they're sent to. Oof. Is this a smart idea? I'll keep it in because it looks like a cool race. Same for Dwars door het Hageland. Maybe that combination can be something we do with the same riders, depending on what the parkour of Swiss looks like. Okay, no, I'm not doing these races because Swiss has a lot of versatile sprints and my best versatile sprinters are my cobble riders, so I might as well send them to Switzerland instead. That's the idea. Route d'Occitanie. Like the idea. I think that's Tourmalet? No, Les Angles. Col de Joux. That's a really nice parkour for a 2.1 race. That's crazy. But to be honest, after Swiss, it's focusing on the national championships. We could do the Andorra Moraban Classica. I do like the race, but it is at the end of Swiss, so let's just skip it. Copenhagen Sprint, we don't have a pure sprinter. We won't go to that. So once again, full focus on the Tour de France, just like the Giro. We do have a one-day race in the middle of this Tour de France called the Classica Terres de l'Ebre. Mountaintop finish. That sounds actually quite fun, but I won't do it. I don't want to spoil the Tour de France with other races happening at the same time. Maybe if, when we do the planning, we don't have enough race days or something, then I might come back to the schedule and add a bit of races to the schedule. Apolito asking, you doing Andorra Challenge Criterium? Well, if they pay me 150k like they did those riders, then I'll ride it myself in real life. We've got San Sebastian Getxo, that's fine. Burgos is also good. Then again, Polonia at the same time. Polonia is very Romeo tinted to me. Medium mountain stages with a medium mountain time trial just shouts Romeo at me. I'm going to have to skip Portugal because it's too long. Do I really want to do Burgos again, though? I feel like I've done it so many times. It's always the same parkour as well, you know? I will, because we're a Spanish team. Happy New Year, Lars. Welcome to the chat. You as well, Emre. Thanks for being here. Tour de l'Ain. Remember 2020 when national champion Primoz Roglic, where is he? He's right here. National champion Primoz Roglic rode up the slopes of, what is it? The Col de Grand Colombier and absolutely destroyed maybe Pavel Sivakov. I don't know if Pogacar was already there. I don't think so. I think Roglic just Roglified everybody at the Tour de l'Ain. That was a hell of an addition for the Tour de l'Ain. That was crazy. I think Bajoli might have won the versatile sprint that edition, beating Roglic or something. Anyway, those are the good old days. After Polonia, we've got the 8XI Classics. We have to ride this for the sole reason that when we rode it in the previous season, we scored like 700 UCI points at this race. And if I can do that again, I'm happily accepting it. Renui Tour at the start of Vuelta, we have no choice, we have to ride it. Britannia Classic, same story. Do I do the Tour of Britain? I live in the UK now, but this route does not come anywhere close to where I live. Maybe Milton Keynes is relatively close. The rest of the names I barely hear. Cardiff is in Wales, so that's to my left. To my left? Wait. I'm currently looking at the road. There is the north. So if there is the north, then Cardiff is right there. Okay, so it's somewhat to my left. I wasn't wrong. I am... Where am I? Vuelta's done for. Tour of Istanbul. I've got memories from that race. Went to that race a couple of years ago. 2 years ago, I think? Crazy shit. Edze in chat says, love the shirt, Benji. Woo! Yeah, sorry, I'm overly hyped for the shirt, but I gotta say, I do love the look of it. It's a shirt I got from the EF team back in January when I was there in Australia for the Tour Down Under. We were there with Rafa with the podcast, and genuinely great shirt. I am... Emery says, that is the best Tour of Britain route you will ever get. Buddy. I'm sorry, but I'm skipping Tour of Britain. Because let's be honest, by the time we hit this month in our playthrough, the reality is transfers are done and we want to go to the end of the season as fast as possible. Always happens. Welcome to the chat, Mars. How are you doing? Quebec, Montreal, yeah. World's TT is in France. And then the road race is also in France, looking rather hilly, to be honest. Euro ITT is 50 kilometers in Spain, flat. Romeo territory, I'm telling you. I don't think I'll become European champion. And then Spanish, also when it comes to a hilly parkour for the World Championships, is that's not Ponferrada, is it? No, it's European champs. It can't be Ponferrada because that was the World Champs. Probably a homemade parkour, a community-made parkour. Or I forgot that route existed. Langkawi I'm skipping. Lombardia I'm doing. So it's a pretty bare-bones schedule, but obviously throughout the season we can add races if we need to for UCI points or from other races, for other reasons. But I think the next step is going to be looking at our actual planner, because I want to go through these races and try and put the riders in the races that they are at, and then figure out what our schedule of our riders in general looks like. What Finn will be focusing on, what Kubic and so forth will be focusing on. But I reckon I will begin by looking at the Tour Down Under. We went through the parkour earlier. It's Wollonga Hill, basically. I am considering going with a versatile sprinter instead of a puncher, which is a risky strategy. But what do you think, Chad? Who should we send to a Tour Down Under? My first move in the meanwhile is going to be, the annoying thing about all of this is that we can't actually schedule the whole season yet, because we just requested access to a lot of races and we don't have them confirmed yet. So that's a bummer. Anyway, Matthew Fox is going to the Aussie NCs. Okay, what's happening here? Oh, there we go. Thank you very much for the €10 donation, Jeroen. Thank you very much. Tour Down Under, I have to send Matthew... Do I have to? I'm sorry. I'm done with this charity giving out races to people that don't deserve to go. Matthew Fox is not a good rider for our team. 74 actually is actually pretty decent. His secondaries are 68. Sorry, buddy, but it's not happening. He's a charity case in our team. Kubish, says chat. 74 hill stats, 74 sprint, or other sprinters are... Let's take a look at our squad. Let's see who our sprinters are. Kubish, Kopetsky, and Fox 74. Watson 73. Leitao 73. Darder, Erzen. Erzen with 78 acceleration. What in the holy hell? That's crazy. 75 flat already. Bro's fucking good. I do like the idea of sending Kubic actually, chat. I might do that. Kubic can go to Tour Down Under. But we need a versatile lead out for him. I will not double stack with Kopecky, so I won't send Kubic and Kopecky to the same race. I think the idea would be that I send Samuel Watson maybe. 74 Hillstad as well, 73 sprint. So the perfect lead out. Do I send Romeo again? That is my question. Where is Romeo? Oh, right there. 74 Hillstad. He's actually not that good for this parkour. Lorenzo Finn is objectively a better rider for Tour Down Under. Wojciech says you can put Leitao. I'm sorry. Leitao is not touching a single World Tour race this season. Leitao can sit in the corner all year in this team and do nothing. Nothing. Okay, one race. He's allowed to ride the ADAXI Classics where he got UCI points last season. But for the rest of the season, he's in that corner right there. Sorry. Slow towel. It's not happening. Mars in chat says no TT equals no Romeo. I'm feeling the same. And the Hillstead of Finn shouts that I should send Finn instead. Keeping also in mind that if I send a rider like Lorenzo Finn, then he's got 78 Hillstat, but also it increases our chances to do well at Tour Down Under, which is a race where we don't necessarily expect Pogacar or Vingegaard to show up, you know? Before I confirm that, let's take a look. Joao Almeida, Adam Yates, holy. UAE Team Emirates. Vingegaard's going to... Why are they going to the Tour Down Under? Why? I know Mr. Patrick Bro keeps yapping about the Tour Down Under being the 4th Grand Tour, but I know why. Mr. Patrick Bro used his influence at Team Visma Lease Bike to send Jonas to the Tour Down Under. That is what happened. I'm telling you. Ay. He's poisoning the well. Who else? Lawrence Piffy's here. Mikel Landa is going to the Tour Down Under. Oi. What is happening here? Jasper Philipsen for the sprints. I do think Finn can podium that race if we send him. So I will still do that. Veldhofer is a puncher rider. I can also podium the race with Veldhofer, to be honest. Should I just go with Veldhofer instead of Finn? What do you think, chat? Wealthy Uncle Skeleton in chat says Finn for TDU. What does the rest of the chat think? Jan Castellon is too mountainous in terms of stats. Darder, not feeling it. Noval, 72 hill stat. Domestique, maybe. Paul Wright. Bro, the fact that Paul Wright is still in this team, might as well send him. Chat says Schwarzbacher. Could be a good third man, maybe? A third last man? Combination with Kubic, which is same country. So they can speak to each other. Ooh. Alvarez, where's he at? 72 flat stat only. I swear he was better. Chat says Arieta. I think it's too early to send Arieta to races because I think he's not... He has 75 hill stat, maybe. I won't do it because I'm basically sending 4 of my 5 best riders right now. I don't think I want to send the entire list yet. I think Schwarzbacher is a good idea. So right now we've got Finn for GC, Veldhofer as Domestique. Do I need Veldhofer? Ooh. I don't think I do. Finn alone should be able to do the hills. With protection of Watson and Kubic. I'm still not sure I want to send Finn to TDU, guys. Because he's our main guy. There we go. Emery asked for sort by evaluation. There we go. That is done. I actually assumed I already sorted by evaluation because I just said 4 of my 5 best riders are going, which is not true. Finn, Watson, Kubish, Schwarzbacher, Paul Wright. What if I do this instead? I think I don't want to risk it and send... I don't want to send Finn already to Turnanander and Feldhofer with 75 Hillstead, and if we can get him to be in good form by Turnanander, then maybe that's 76, 77. I think I can podium the race with that. That's at least my thought process. Then, hypothetically, let's say this is our temporary Turnanander schedule. We'll fill up the rest of the ranks maybe off camera. I want to focus on the main storylines here. I'm going to try and shove New Zealand ITT on our man Paul Wright. Valenciana then. Where's he at? On the right. There we go. So, again, versatile sprint, flat sprint, medium mountain, flat sprint. So, I think this is the time we put... Ooh. This is the Romeo or Finn. There's no time trial. But in Andalusia, there's also no time. There is a time trial in the... But also we're doing Algarve at the same time as Andalusia. So, I think that... I think Algarve is the one where we send Ivan Romeo. We can't do that yet because we haven't been accepted to the race yet. And I think he can combine Valenciana and Andalusia. I think that's a good idea. Martin in chat says Arieta. That's also a good idea. Because we don't need the time trial. And Arieta is basically a similar rider. Perikas also exists. I forgot he existed. Arieta is gonna go. That's for sure. Romeo's going to Algarve. Andalusia with a 13-kilometer time trial. Who can time trial in this team? I think Romeo's the only one, if I'm really honest. Finn 66. 13-kilometer hilly time trial. I think Finn goes. Finn goes to Andalusia. It's not ideal, but it's honest work. And then there's versatile sprints in Valenciana as well, which means that we either send Kubish or Kopecky. We're sending Kubish to Turnanander. So I think sending Kopecky then to Valenciana is the way to go. And that can be combined with a lead-out man. Third last man will be Hector Alvarez. Where's he at? There. And where's the other man? Javier Serrano. Haven't spoken about him once today, but he was actually really good in these first races last season. Solid lead-out as well. Rowdy in chat said Schwarzbacher can't TT. Kind of only like 66 time trial in the game, actually. So it's pretty limited for us. I forgot we signed Pedrero, by the way. But anyway, we've got our focus for Valenciana. Arieta and Kopecky go to that race. And I think I'll send Kopecky also to Murcia. Who the hell do I send to Almeria? A flat sprint. Is that Matthew Fox? 74 sprint. I gotta send him to something. I reckon I do that. Why not? Has to ride some race. Failure in chat says Omerzel to Valenciana. 73 Hillstead, I'm not feeling it. I need him... I think I'll first do Paris and Tirreno before going back to February. Because I think this is where decisions have to be made. Catalunya, Itzulia. So these 4 races will be important to focus on, including the Cobble Classics. Obviously, the Cobble Classics go to the same 3 riders. Watson, Kubish, and Kopecky. Strade Bianche? I don't fucking know. Milano Sanremo? Watson? Who? Finn's Italian, so I'm going to send them to Milano Sanremo for the sole reason of that. 78 Hillstead too. I think Kopecky and Kubish can both go to Sanremo. We can change that later, by the way, chat. And, oh my God. Itzulia is shouting at me. You know why Itzulia is shouting at me? Because of a 16-kilometer Victoria-Gasteiz flat time trial. That is Romeo territory. Hilly parkour. That's a very steep hilly parkour, by the way. The Itzua climb, 4.4k, 9%. Then we've got the mythical last stage of Itzulia, always a banger, but the parkour here is pretty light. Krabbelin is already the second climb of the day? I swear this was like the middle climb of the day back in the day. Yeah, I think so. I think they swapped some stuff around. I swear the Itzua climb was maybe the second climb in the race back in 2021. Someone can check that in chat. By the way, if I'm not responding to chat very quickly, it's because I'm focusing on the thing, but I'm reading and I'll get back to you, I promise. But what I did learn about Itzulia is that it's definitely Romeo territory, you know? Time trial's there, so he's going to cook that race. And he can go to Indurain as well as preparation for that. Then Tour of Flanders goes to Watson, Kubi. Did I just accidentally send Kubish? Yes, I did. I'm so stupid. Kopetsky can do RVV as well. Then Roubaix can be Watson, Kubish, and Kopetsky. That's good. So Itzulia also has a few sprints, maybe? I don't know. The one downside is if we send both our versatile sprinters to the classics, then we can't compete with them right here at Itzulia Basque Country on stage 2, 3, and 5. 3 might be a bit hard for a versatile sprinter though. Happy New Year, Clap My Dog. Welcome to the chat. Hope you had a wonderful celebration, everyone, by the way. You might see it in the background. I've been Legoing a bit. I don't know, I've got this like addiction to Lego Star Wars and Lego Lord of the Rings in the last week. I don't know why. Nostalgia moment from my childhood, I think. But yeah. We've got, I swear every time I go to like for example, I go to the right here to Itzulia and I click on Paris-Nice. When I go back, we're back at the start of the calendar. Why does it not remember where I was? That is such a basic thing. Come on, developers. I can't be the only thing that's an only person that's annoyed by that. Baba Jones says, happy holidays, everyone. Thank you. You as well. So we got to make a decision, chat. Is it possible? What do you think, chat? Is it realistic for someone to finish the Tour of Flanders, drive a cab to Brussels airport, fly to Basque Country, and then in Basque Country, ride Itzulia Basque Country the day after? What do you think, chat? Is that possible? Has anyone ever done that? Probably. Because I feel like I need to send a versatile sprinter to Itzulia. But the thing is, when he's done with Itzulia, he's driving his little car back to the airport to take a flight from Basque Country to Paris-Roubaix. Chat says no. Chat says it's not realistic. I think that's fair. But then I need to make a decision. Then either Kubish or Kopetsky cannot go to the classics. Kopetsky has 74 cobble, 73 stamina. Kubish has 74 cobble, 75 stamina. I think the choice is made. Kubish is better. Sorry, Kopetsky. You're skipping RVV. You're going to Itzulia. And let's take a look at Catalonia. I might double stack you. We've got... Ooh, that is sprint survivable, I think. Mountaintop finish on stage 2 of Catalonia. Mountaintop finish on stage 3. Porene. That's a monster of a stage, by the way. This climb, Porto says 12 kilometers at 5.5, but a rampa in there as well towards the last portion. Flat sprint. Versatile sprint again. Then we've got Col de Pradel, that's a monster of a climb. Ooh, 16.5% max, but the second half of this is so incredibly steep. Like more than 10% average. Followed by the Colada de Sant'Isidro. What a stage. And then the Keralt climb, which is 5.3 at 7.7 up to 15 again. That's crazy. Barcelona, versatile sprint / punchy territory. So I think the choice is made. I think Kopecky has to go to both. I'm double stacking him. But I think we do need to send a better climber than Romeo to Catalunya. Romeo's not good enough. Tercero can go as Domestique. I don't think he's good enough as leader because his secondaries are not good enough. 66 resistance, 68 recovery doesn't matter as much as in a Grand Tour, but still matters. I think that's Finn territory. 76 mountain is not gigantic, but 78 medium mountain, 78 hill still works, you know? So hypothetically, we say Catalunya, but then we look at Paris-Nice and Tirreno, and if that's an interesting parkour, then I might switch it up. What's Paris-Nice like? Ooh, typical 2 flat sprints before a 13-kilometer time trial individual. Medium mountain finish. Flat. Hilly. 1 climb, and it's 16k at 6%. Followed by a hilly parkour. Is this not Romeo territory? Like, the mountain is 16k, but outside of that, I'm feeling like that's Romeo territory. Let's take a look at Tirreno before we conclude it. Michael in chat says, Saludos desde el País Vasco. Eres un grande, Benji. Thank you very much. I think he says hello from Basque Country. That's my pure assumption. 11-kilometer individual time trial. Oh my god, this is also Romeo. Oh no. Why does every race remind me of Romeo? Why is he so good? Flat sprint. Hilly parkour. Sassotetto, that's 10 kilometers maybe? Ooh, that's a bit hard, no? Osimo hilly parkour. That's really steep. Then San Benedetto del Tronto. This is the edition where Roglic won after... Yeah, I think Roglic won, and on Sassotetto maybe... Did Enric Mas win on Sassotetto? No, Roglic won on Sassotetto, right? But the Mas attacked in the last 3 kilometers? I'm vaguely remembering. And Almeida attacked a few times on the Osimo stage. Really good stage, I think. Ooh. What are we thinking, chat? Paris-Nice or Tirreno for Ivan Romeo? Paris-Nice, 13k time trial, 11k in Tirreno. Lighter parkour in Tirreno, I think. Finn could also... Yeah, I think Finn is Tirreno. You're right, Martin in chat. Thank you very much for being here, Wojciech. Hope you have a wonderful evening. So, I also see flat sprints in those races, but I don't necessarily feel like sending Kopecky to that or Kubish to that. I am mostly feeling like I need to send someone like Fox or maybe Zach Erdzen for his first couple of sprints. I think that's possible for Tirreno maybe. And then Paris-Nice can be Fox. That's the rough area what I'm thinking right now. Baba Jones says Paris-Nice for Romeo because the better riders usually do Tirreno on PCM. That's fair. That's fair. So, we've done roughly this area of the calendar. Again, I'll be doing the bare bones in today's live stream. I'll set up the most important riders of the races. I won't be doing like the smaller riders in my team on camera. I'll do that later on. Maybe tomorrow, off stream, because that's the boring work. Then, Hill Classics. Hill Classics, we have Lorenzo Finn with 78 hill stat. I think that's definitely Feldhofer territory. He's got 75 hill stat. It's not like he's going to make that difference, but 74 hill on Romeo. That's not shouting it to me. I'm just not that invested in the Hill Classics, you know? I'm going to wait with the Hill Classics and decide later. Let's take a look at Grand Tours. That's where the fun is at. Giro d'Italia. So, oh my god, is the 2022 edition. Right? 2022? No. Yes. 2022. I should know this because, story time. I went to the Grande Partenza in Budapest in 2022 and that's where I met my now wife. So I should be knowing when this race was. Budapest Visegrad. Balaton Füred. Etna on stage 4. I do like the parkour of the Potenza stage. Blockhouse on stage 9. 26k at 6%. I swear Blockhouse is coming back next year, right? Or did I see that wrong? We've got... I swear there's no Strade stage in this year, right? No, there's not. I thought so. The Torino stage, that was a really good stage in real life. Light mountaintop finish on Cogne after two pretty decent climbs. Aprica, this is a nice stage. Di Cadino, followed by the Passo del Mortirolo. Not sure if that's the hardest side, but I'll take it. Santa Cristina before the finish line, a downhill into the line. I like that. Then we've got the Passo del Tonale, followed by Del Vetriolo and Monterovere. Such a shitty stage 19, I'll be honest. Then again, that could be a breakaway stage. And then mountains, Passo Pordoi, Passo Fedaia. Yeah, Hindley. Wait, 2022 is the Hindley one, right? Or am I inventing bullshit? I'm trying to think. Who won the 2022 Giro? Hindley dropping Carapaz on Fedaia, right? Anyway, it's very far the history. Yes, because they were sprinting against each other and Bardet and Blockhouse, I think. That was a really unmemorable Giro, I would say. That said, we know now the parkour of that Giro. I think the next step is looking at the parkour of the Tour de France and the Vuelta to then see which riders we send to each Grand Tour. Because I am very dependent on the actual parkour in terms of decision making. Landernau, so that is 2020, 2021? 2021, right? Alaphilippe winning in Landernau? Or am I thinking about the wrong year? We have relatively punchy start. 2 flats. I need to turn off my heating. I'm burning to a crisp here. 25-kilometer time trial. I didn't take a look at the time trial. I should have taken a look at the time trial kilometers at the Giro. I did not do that. Punchy stage on stage 7 with a... Yeah, 2021. This is the Grand Bornand stage where Pogacar took 7 decades, right? And then the super rainy Tini stage? Or was that the Grand Bornand stage? Might have been the Grand Bornand stage with the Col de Rome and the Col de la Colombière, yeah. I do like this parkour a bit. As in the first week ending with that, starting off with punchy terrain. But then is when... Oh yeah, the double Ventoux. Forgot about that. That's where Wout van Aert took triumph. Hey mate, well, when I saw that stage live, from the second the breakaway formed, I was like, Wout van Aert's winning the stage. Wout van Aert was definitely winning from that group, especially because I think maybe Michael Woods or Dan Martin and Alaphilippe had been attacking the entire start of that stage. Like, yes, they're stronger riders on paper, but they've been attacking the entire fucking day. So, of course they won't win the stage anymore. Anyway, I'm getting serious flashbacks from these parcours, you know? We've got Andorra la Vella next to Patrick's home. We've got a breakaway stage on stage 16. Then we've got Col de Portet, followed by Luzardiden after Tourmalet. Yes. Ooh. And then the 20 stage is a 30-kilometer time trial. So that's 55 kilometers of flat TT. That's a lot. That is a lot. How many TT kilometers were there in the Giro? 10, 16, 26. Bruh. I think Lorenzo Finn goes to the Giro, chat. What do you think? Lorenzo Finn Giro d'Italia. Tour de France Ivan Romeo. Let's take a look at the Vuelta. 7-kilometer time trial. And a 32-kilometer hilly time trial. Picon Blanco on stage 3. Wait, when was the stage? Castro de Herville. So this is the one where 2023? Stage 21 by Champoussin? Or am I in the wrong year? I don't remember which year this was. This is not 2023. 2023 was Visma. Has to be 22 or 21. Probably 22. Right? Roglic winning the 21. Lopez in the car. On stage 20. I need chat to confirm. 21. Okay. 23 didn't make any sense. You're right. Okay, so Gamuniteru, monster climb. Like the antithesis of Angliru, basically. That's how I feel when I look at this climb. Lagos de Covadonga. Oof. Is this the stage where Egan Bernal attacked on the Collada Jomena climb and then Roglic followed and they did the valley together and then Bernal got dropped on the final climb and then Roglic won the stage, and when he was coming back from the top to the bus, he passed Sepp Kuss, who was riding the last kilometer, and they smiled at each other? The memories. Pico Viercas. I swear that climb might be coming back next year. No, it was Vellefique. This climb's coming back. 15k, 7%. Balcon de Alicante. Medium mountain stage. Probably breakaway on PCM. Valdepeñas de Jaén is maybe a bit too versatile sprinty to go to the breakaway. Try and look for breakaway opportunities too, you know? This could be break, but it could also be a versatile sprint, most likely, actually. Vuelta doesn't really matter, eh? Because it's the end of the season. I feel like we're probably just going to send Finn and Romeo to this Grand Tour. Omrizel stats, 75 mountain, 76 medium mountain. I like the idea of sending Omrizel to the Giro. I like that idea. So I think Finn Omrizel Giro. Give me names, chat. Who do you want to see in which Grand Tour? I just accidentally clicked on Tour de Romandie. Nobody cares about Tour de Romandie. Feldhofer has to go to the Giro because it starts in Hungary. Is that logic? Like, the parkour is not Feldhofer territory. Kubish, Kopetsky. Those are my sprinters. What does the Tour de France look like when it comes to sprints? That I did not look at yet. Flat sprint, flat sprint. Versatile sprints are useful here because even the hill stage, we could potentially compete with a Kopetsky or a Kubish. Flat sprints. This is too punchy. This is GC. Flat echelons. Ooh. Champs-Élysées being the flat stage. I'm feeling Kubish Tour de France at the moment. There we go. Which means Kopetsky is probably Giro. And that works because Kubish did the classics. Kubish will peak during the classics, especially. Which means classics plus Giro is not the perfect combination. So Kubish Classics Tour de France makes sense. And then Kopetsky, he's doing Catalunya Etzulia, but it's not like I'm going to have like need for him being at his best form in those races in the first place. That can be at Omloop Kuurne or something. And then he can peak for the Giro. No, yes, for the Giro. That's a good idea. I'm not feeling Veldhofer Giro though. Actually, maybe stage 1. Then again, that's for Finn, you know. There's a couple of stages where Veldhofer could compete in the breakaway with the stats he has. The more I look, the more I feel it. So Finn, Ommerzel, Kopetsky, Veldhofer. Then during the Tour de France, we've got Kubish together with Watson as lead out. Third last man is Schwarzbacher. I think that's solid. Alvarez also. 72 flat. I'll also send him to the Vuelta. Let's take a look at the Vuelta parkour and then decide whether I do Kubish and Kopetsky. That's what I'm saying makes no sense because they're exactly the same rider. It doesn't matter who I send. Actually, it does because we've got Renui Tour at the same time. Right? If I send... I'll go over chat in a second, by the way. I'll quickly go to Vuelta. Renui Tour. How many cobble stages does it have? Wait, what? Where's the cobbles? I swear there's usually a cobble stage in this race. It's gone. Wait a second. Can I not just win this race with Romeo? It's a completely flat race with a 12-kilometer time trial. I think I need to go to the Nui Tour with Romeo and win it. That's like 500 UCI points. But then he can't go to the Vuelta. Then Finn is doing a double Grand Tour, which is possible. Chat, am I going insane? This is not stupid, right? I swear Romeo can win that race. Because it's just a time trial. It is silly to not have him at the Vuelta, I agree, but... Then I do need to send other riders to the Vuelta. Pericas probably has to ride something this year. Tercero. Then Kubish can be sprinter at the Renui Tour. Nah, has to be a flat sprinter. There's barely any cobbles, so... Whew. Chat says... Parino says, no, please, no. Romeo needs to go to the Vuelta. Low Maker says he could. Bjorn says, good plan for a Nui Tour for Romeo. UCI points, he screams. I'm feeling it too. We can still change it last minute, you know? So it's not the end of the world. Emily says, your team is strong. You won't need UCI points. Yeah, but come on. You're right. It was fun while it lasted, but you're right. I shouldn't do that. So, Kopecky or Kubish? I'm going Kubish Renui, Kopecky Vuelta, Kubish Bretagne Classics, Kubish Quebec. I'll say Kubish Montreal, but in real life that's never going to happen. And then Lombardia goes to Lorenzo Finn and Romeo and every climber in this damn team, to be honest. Also, Arieta needs to do the Vuelta, right? Anyway, I'm going to take a look at chat now. Edson and Fox to the Giro. I'm not feeling that because I feel like Edson is super young. Like I'm saying, let's take a look how young he is. 21, 72 sprint, 78 acceleration. This is a rider with really weird stats, first of all. But secondly, if I've got Kopecky, a rider with 78 acceleration, I don't know how that's going to influence my lead out. I don't know how much acceleration influences lead out these days. So I'm scared of using him for that. Matthew Fox for the flat sprints, I guess, but Kopecky's already going. I think Fox and Edson are for the smaller 1 week races, chat. Kubish to Vuelta. I switched it around, sorry chat. Tercero, Romeo, Finn, Alvarez, Pedrero, Noval, Arieta, Kopecky for the Vuelta. I do like the idea of sending Noval to his first Vuelta already. We've got a full Vuelta team now. So Noval, Alvarez, Kopecky, Arieta, Pericas, Romeo, Tercero, Finn. That's too climby. I think I'm skipping Tercero because he's a rider with very good mountain stat, but the rest of his stats are kind of shit. So I think instead I want to have a rider like Javier Serrano there to be part of my lead out. Maybe my lead out, actually, my second last man for Kopecky. And then Alvarez can be part of my lead out train as well. Romeo can be part of the lead out train, so I got a 4-man train then. I think that's a good idea. That's a full Vuelta squad. Finn Romeo, Pericas, Arieta, Kopecky, Javier Serrano, Alvarez Noval. I'm a bit behind in chat, so I'm scrolling down slowly but surely. Mud says Romeo Vuelta. Don't worry, it happened. Baba Jones says Romeo to the Tour. And I lost the message. He said Romeo to the Tour and Finn for Giro Vuelta. That's roughly what we have. Lucas Lopes instead of Romeo for Vuelta. I forgot about Lucas Lopes. 74, 75 mountain, medium mountain. It's a pretty strong rider to just stay home, you know? So we got Romeo at the Tour de France. Does Lopes go to the Tour de France as domestique? His secondaries are actually terrible. Can Arieta do the Tour Vuelta double? I think he can. Maybe same for Omerzel, hypothetically for now. I'm not concluding anything yet. But I'm feeling this combination in support of Romeo. Because at the Tour de France, I don't expect to ride for GC with Romeo. I expect to go for stages. So having Arieta and Omerzel in breakaways feels like a good idea. Scrolling down the chat for a second. Ooh. Panache? Any Romanian riders with Dacia as sponsor? Actually, in the game, Dacia is for some reason a Spanish company. I don't know why. So maybe in the future, if there's a good Romanian rider on the market, I'll take him. But I won't sign him especially because he's Romanian. Because in the game, Dacia is not Romanian for some reason. Matthias van Loveren asked, what are Govikar's stats now? Oof. Haven't heard that name in a long time. Honestly, the exact same stats as he had before. But He won 4 races at Vorarlberg. That's quite a bit less than the 24 he had at Siroko for endurance. What a bummer, dude. Could have been a great rider. Decided to leave us. Ay, ay, ay. His best results last season, well, first season was Vuelta stages, but 2026? Couldn't even win a Volta Portugal stage, buddy. Come on. What is this nonsense? Yeah, sorry, Mateusz Govikar, but you're fucking washed. Pardon my swearing. What were we doing? I was scrolling to chat. Lucas Lopez can go to the Tour. Yeah, but I've got an idea. Oof. I think it's not a bad idea. I've got Alvarez. I've got Samuel Watson. I've got Kubish. And I've got Schwarzbacher. So I've got a full lead out. I feel I've got a rider too many to the Tour, no? No, I've got just enough. Samuel Watson as lead out. Romeo as breakaway leader. Kubish as my sprinter. Omer Zalanreta and Lopez as breakaway domestiques for Romeo. Schwarzbacher as third last man in the sprint. And Alvarez as our fourth last man. I think that's the way to go. I think that's a full Tour team. Am I missing something? Well, I'm sending a Tercero to absolutely nothing right now, so I'm missing that. The Giro is 4 riders right now. Finna as GC leader. By the way, chat, 76 mountain, 78 medium mountain, is that GC? Or is that try and go for stages? Or actually, is that try and go for stages and trying to backdoor the top 10 in GC? I'm kind of feeling that with Lorenzo Finn, because with 76 mountain, we can't compete for a top 5 at the Giro, you know? We have to get it from breakaways. So, Omerzel, Kopecky, Veldhofer. That combination's good. Veldhofer is his punchy lead out for Kopecky, but we need someone for the flat, you know? I'm not too loved for the fact of sending Edison to a Grand Tour yet. But I need to send a lead out here, eh? I think I might have no choice. Because Watson is doing Cobble and Tour. Schwarzbacher should also do Cobble and Tour, by the way. Let's fix that. Not Amstel. I'm looking for Roubaix. That's what I'm looking for. There we go. Towards Vlaanderen can also go to our Cobble guys. So back to the Giro. What's Leitao looking like? 73 flat stat. He could be part of our lead out. That's a role for Leitao. Edson with 75 flat though. That's better. I think I'll send Edson, but I might not use him as last man. I might use him as third last rider because his flat stat is super high. But then I still need a lead out. It could be Fox, but his secondaries are so bad. 59 mountain, he's simply not finishing a Grand Tour. I forgot about Sergi Darder. I really forgot about Sergi Darder. 74 flat, 73 sprint. This is our lead out. It's weird to send him to the Giro, but I'll take it. A Spanish guy to the Giro is weird in my head. That's 6 riders. We need a flat rider to be our 4th last man. Poof. Serrano has not gone to a Grand Tour yet. I'm kind of feeling like Serrano would be a good part of a lead out. But the more I'm really not a fan of sending Veldhofer to the Giro. Hill Classics plus Giro. I know you want it, Chad, but like even for the hilly stages, we're gonna go for Lorenzo Finn. And we're going to have Serrano as domestique for him to protect Finn on those stages. So with 72 mountain stat, that's just not enough for me to shout he's going to a Grand Tour, you know? Then again, he's a top 15 rider on our team. Cancelarieta, Mintegi, I've not done anything with. He's going to the Hill Classics. By the way, Romeo can go to Asturias and win it for us. There we go. Or Tercero, I don't care. We'll check later. We need one more rider for the Giro. And decide what we do with Veldhofer. We don't need a sprinter, so it needs to be a climber / breakaway rider. Or just general domestique. Lucas Lopes went to the Tour de France, so I don't think I should do that. I'm struggling, chat. I'm struggling. If I'm struggling already, then it might have been a good idea to send Balint Veldhofer, you know? Castellon with 75 mountain. That's a good domestique, to be honest. But his secondaries are bad. 66 recovery and so forth. That is like really bad. Ramos is worse. Watson is good doing the Cobble Classics and the Tour, so that doesn't fit. Tercero is on paper the man, but his mountain stat is so high that I'm scared of sending him because it's better than Lorenzo Finn. That shouldn't be a reason I should send Tercero. I should send Tercero. Or Pericas. Oh, Pericas is the man. He's so similar to Finn. He's the man. For sure. There's no doubt about it. Easily the choice. Pericas is also not doing the Tour de France. He's doing Giro Vel. That's perfect. I forgot he existed. So, Grand Tours are set. Let's fill up the gaps here. Romandy. 17 kilometers of time trial. Oh la la la. Do you hear what I hear? Do you hear the soundtrack? That's the Ivan Romeo soundtrack, my friend. 3 kilometer prologue. 14 kilometer hilly time trial. But this mountain stage, holy crap. That is going to kill Ivan Romeo. That mountain stage will lead to minutes, but I can win 2 stages. That's fine. I'm happy with winning 2 stages. So, it's happening. Romandy goes to Romeo. And Kubic can do it for the versatile sprint stages. Then Dauphiné. Medium mountain, followed by punchy sprint. Flat sprint. 30k time trial. Hilly parkour. Medium mountain. Oh, pretty hard. Okay, I was going to say not that hard, but it's actually pretty hard. Côte la Madeleine, monster climb, followed by Col du Mollard, followed by Col la Croix de Fer. Serious mountain stage. And then we've got Col du Granier, Coucheron, and Col de Port. So, kind of looks like the parkour of the Col de Rome, Col de la Colombière, can't talk. Col de Rome, Col de la Colombière combination from the Tour de France 20... one. The one that we're doing in this series, in this season. What the hell? Monte de la Bastille. That's really steep. That's nice. Nice parkour. Colin in chat says Tercero is your third best rider and has 7 race days. Well, in reality, I don't think he is my third best rider. Yes, evaluation says so, but this is actually not the most useful rider type. He can do well in pure mountain stages, but GC-wise, he's not useful, and his secondaries are not good enough to be that great in breakaways. So he's going to be a domestique in a lot of races, and don't worry, those race days will go up. But I'm just assigning the leaders, and in a lot of the races, Tercero's just not a leader in terms of stats. So that's why he's not got the race days yet, but he's going to get race days, don't worry. Bjorn says Tercero's going to have a year of laying down and watching TV with the season he currently has planned. Don't worry, it's getting fixed eventually, okay? What was I saying? Romeo Kubish, Romandy, Dauphiné. I could do Romeo again, to be honest. The big mountain stage is worrisome. And I could also send Arieta. I could simply send my tour team there, you know? Except Omerzel, because he's doing Giro Tour double. I could also bring Lopes to Dauphiné. But then I have not looked at Swiss yet. Oh my god. So, hilly parkour, versatile sprint, hilly parkour, mountain finish on Moose Alp, pretty hard. Then an even harder climb on stage 7, followed by a 25-kilometer time trial. I wish we had good time trialists. Laszlo in chat asks, hey Benji, what are your overall goals for the team? Winning all Grand Tours and Classics? To be honest, I'm not sure what my goal is. My goal with my Rembe series last year was winning the Tour de France with a German rider. With this, I didn't... Well, at the start, I may or may not have had a goal of like winning everything, but at this point, I kind of just want to go with the flow and see where we finish. Because I feel like there's a nice story building slowly but surely. Colin says, if Tercero has such bad secondaries, send him to the Middle East. We're not doing any Middle East races. That's the problem. I agree with you. I would have sent him there. Matteo says, Swiss looks good for Tercero. I agree. We'll give him a race, okay? The Tercero gang in chat is so loud. QB in chat shouts, did I hear a Romeo soundtrack? Yeah. I hear a Romeo soundtrack every single race, buddy. Every race. Ay. But we have to choose, you know? What's the most likely race for Romeo to be competitive at? Dauphiné or Swiss? Actually, I don't know. I'm going to go with Dauphiné because then I can test my entire tour team there. But who do I send to Tour de Suisse then? Tercero and? Does Finda do Giro Swiss Vuelta? That's weird. Marco in chat says, I really like the new jersey. For the people that haven't seen it, on the thumbnail of this video, if you go to my channel under the live stream segment, you can see the picture of the video. You can see the new jersey of the new season. Massive shout out to Tom Gauthier, which is a community member in the Pro Cycling Manager community. Works on WorldDB jerseys and so forth. I outsourced the work to him. He did it for me. So massive shout out. It's beautiful, that kid. But I'll tell you some more about it in the next video. Eesh. What else do we have? Tour de Suisse needs a versatile sprinter. And I think Kubic can do that because the cobbles have been ages ago. I'll go with this for now. Chad, I don't know who to go to Swiss with. I genuinely don't know. I don't know why I've got a tool in my hand. but we're here. Kimino Steve. Okay, that's weird. Oh. I think I need to send a weaker sprinter to the Dauphiné. Hello, John Lee. Welcome to the chat. Woo! The more I look at stage 7, the more terrified I am for Romeo. That's a really hard mountain stage. I'm switching it up. Sorry, chat. I'm switching it up. Romeo is going to the Tour de Suisse. Together with Arieta and with Lucas Lopes. Tercero is going to the Dauphiné. Because of the mountain stages being so severe. Because Swiss mountain stages are easier, right? Okay, I'm just making shit up at this day. Like, these are also super hard. Maybe the competition will be easier. I'm hoping that. We can't see it yet. Next to Tercero at Swiss, we can send your right, chat. Rarex in chat, you're right. Oh, I'm way past to the Swiss. Dauphiné, I mean. We can send Castellon. Ramos has no race days. What's the sprints like in the Dauphiné? I forgot to check. That was literally the one thing I had to do. Castellon has 75 mountain, by the way, Bjorn. That's pretty good. There's enough terrain here for a versatile sprinter. This is not a versatile sprint stage, though, but these two are. Fast one might also, on a very good day. So if that's the case, then what stops me from sending Kopetsky to the Giro Dauphiné double? That's an insane thing to do. Wow. Javier Serrano? He's also doing the Giro. Edson with 68 sprint. Hillstad, I mean. I think I just don't have the rider for the Dauphiné. I don't have another versatile sprinter. So I think it's Fox or Yuri Leitao. Or Edson. Edson's going to the Giro, apparently. Forgot about that. I'm going with... What do you think, chat? Leitao or Fox to the Dauphiné? Fox has 74 sprint. Leitao is better flat stat. Not sure if that remotely matters. I think Fox then, right? It's probably a few Portuguese people that are going to kill me if I make that decision. Schwarzbacher is going nowhere. He can go to Swiss together with Kubish. Rodex in chat says Fox goes to Dauphiné. I will also send Benjamin Noval. Great name, by the way, Benjamin. Okay. Then we've got Polonia. Oh, chat. Tell me. I'm opening to the Polonia. 14-kilometer medium mountain time trial. Hilly, medium mountain. What do you hear? What are we hearing, chat? Da, 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 da. He's coming. Da, 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 da. Who's coming? Da, 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 da. Ivan Romeo's coming. But I can't send him to Polonia because he's already overburdened in that period following the Tour de France and the Vuelta. So Matteo Hermonpré, you're shouting Finn music in the chat. I think you're right. I think it has to be Lorenzo Finn. And it's a medium mountain time trial, so it's also dependent on medium mountain, which is 78 for Lorenzo Finn. So that's fits. but I don't think I can send Romeo to a Tour de France Polonia Vuelta triple. Veldhofer can join Finn. Perikas can join as well as preparation for the Vuelta. And then we've got, when it comes to sprints, it was versatile sprints, right? Meh, yeah, I guess. It's not really. I do think I should send a versatile sprinter. Which will be hard because Kubic is doing Tour de France Renouille plus Bretagne. And Kopecky is doing the Vuelta, but he can do Polonia before that. Giro, Polonia, Vuelta. That's doable. Oh my god. My bad, chat. My bad. You were looking at my face. I know. Horrifying. What we were doing was looking at the schedule of Polonia. And just went straight past Polonia. And basically, I decided to send Kopecky to Polonia together with Ball and Veldhofer. But Kopecky because it's a good run into the Vuelta, you know? Okay. Papa Reformas in chat says, Benji, how does it work in PCM, the change of parkour from one year to another? So basically, let's say I make a database. And my database is called the BenjiDB. And I've got the Tour de France in that database. It's the year 2025 in PCM 25. Then there's files in my database that I made for each stage. And for example, the stage is called top_TDF stage 1. It's not exactly how it's named, but for example, _2025 for the 2025 edition. But community members within the PCM community have made so many different variants of the Tour de France from other years, from other older editions, made up editions that they wanted to make themselves. So for example, another could be called top_TDF stage 1 2003. That's a 2003 version. If the year is 2025, PCM will look into the files and see, is there a 2025 version of this race? If yes, he'll use that one. If the year is 2027, there is no 2027 version in the database, in the game. So it looks through the files and checks all the other possible variants and picks one. I think it's at random, but I'm not completely sure. That's the idea. Radek in chat asks, Benji, are you doing all World Tour races? No. I'm doing the majority. I'm skipping a couple like Ashburn, Frankfurt, then some smaller ones like Copenhagen Sprint and Brugge de Panne because I don't have a pure sprinter. To be honest, I think we're not basically done, but we're mostly done with our schedule. San Sebastian, Romeo? That's weird, isn't it? I think that's Finn territory. ADAX Classics can go to Watson. Can go to Kubish? Maybe? No. Matthew Fox, Leitao, just like in 2026. I think that's a funny combination. Addison, all my sprinters that don't get to go to anything will be sent there. Sergi Darder, Schwarzbacher, every sprinter on my team. I think that's funny. Alvarez, yeah, he's doing Tour Vuelta. Shouldn't be doing that. So, we've done now the majority of this. What I will now look into is squad. I will go to the fitness page and I'll go to the right here because we need to set this to when they need to be in shape. Who's doing the Tour Down Under again? It's Finn, right? Is it? No, he's not. Did I take him out of the Tour Down Under last minute? I forgot. I did. Our leader for the Tour Down Under is Balin Veldhofer. Why did I do that, chat? I'm sending Finn to do that. I'm changing my mind. I was getting too... I was feeling too confident there for a second. When I was planning this. I am going with this. Then... Give me a second, I'll drink. So... Finn is starting in Andalusia. So he doesn't need to be in shape at the start of the season. He needs to be in shape halfway through February, so that's starting on normal. Samuel Watson starts at 2 and under. So he needs to start at very high. I hate doing this, by the way. This is such a stupid tool. I wish this was never necessary. This should be happening automatically. Matteo says, Benji forgot to assign the trainers to the riders. Don't worry, I'll do that off camera. I wasn't planning to do that on the stream. It's too much bullshit work. But this I need to do on the stream because then I want to look at objectives for our team. Lorenzo, Finn, Samuel Watson, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Tercero, where the fuck does he start his season? Well, he's got 2 races scheduled, so I don't know where he starts this season. Let's do high then. I'll probably send him to Valenciano or something. No, I won't. Normal. Ivan Romeo starts on high because he's starting early. Lucas... Actually, Tercero will go to the Mallorca challenges, so he needs to be in form. Oh, I hate this. I hate this so much. This is such a stupid feature. Kubish is going to 2 down under. Needs to be on very high. Pericas is going to somewhere in Spain pretty soon, so let's do high. Omerzel, normal. Arieta, very high because he's doing Mallorca and Valenciano or something. Matthias Kopecki. I don't know what he's doing. I'll put him on high. Iker Mintegi, very high. Veldhofer is doing Tour Down Under. Fox needs to be high because Australian Championships. Castellon, probably on high, very high. He's doing something in February. So high, not very high. I'm going insane. I'm getting high on this. Lucas Lopez. Bro, I don't fucking know. High. I'll shove everyone on high. That's the idea. Leitao, high. Nah, Leitao's not important. He can go on normal. Edson as well. Ramos can go on high. Why did I put all the Spaniards on very high? No clue. I'll keep them on there. Sergi Darder can go on very high. He's going to those Mallorca challenges probably. Ramos on high. Schwarzbacher on... Bruh. I don't know. I don't know what bro's doing for breakfast. Serrano, very high. He's going to be important in January and February. Pedrero can be domestique, so high. Fernandez, same thing. Alvarez, high. Noval can be also high. Lopez as well. Paul Wright can be on... Why, he's got New Zealand champs, so let's do high. Beloki, not normal, that's nonsense. Michael Steiner, bro, I forgot you were in this team. Normal. For all these Slovenian bums. Not saying that every Slovenian is a bum, only these 3 in the game. Not in real life. Don't want to insult a real rider like that. Okay, so we've done the fitness, which means that I can go to this page and I can click on accept. Dumbest feature in the world. Oh, bicycles. I don't care about bicycles. Just to select one. Which one is shit? Average, very bad. Tarmac SL. Redesign of model. We can't do that. Major. We can't do anything. Minor. Wheels. Average, bad. We love average, bad. What is that? A baton. What is a baton? Nobody knows. Major changes. Redesign model? Nope. Major changes. There we go. Okay. Finally. We're swishing through it. We're whooshing through the season preparation because I now want to... Why did I do that? I didn't need to do all that to do the race objective. I can just do the race objectives. Ay, ay, ay. Anyway, so, race objectives. Let's clear the field. Most important race of the season, the Tour de France. Podiuming a stage is our season objective? What is this nonsense? Win a stage, right? 6-star difficulty. Oh, mamma mia. Ooh la 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 la. I think we can do that. What do you think, chat? Winning a Tour de France stage. Every sponsor cares. I reckon we do it. La Vuelta. Important race. First, no. Winning 4 stages. No, I'm not doing that. Winning 2 could be a fun challenge, though. Ooh. I feel like PCM is talking to me. Read this pop-up. Is it really wise to tempt fate? That's exactly what I was thinking. What do you think, chat? Win 2 stages is a hard challenge. We did it last season. I feel like we can do it again. I feel like it should be possible, to be honest. We can definitely win 1, though. I'll go with 1 for now, and I'll take a look. Do I put the Giro win as well? I'll just go 3 Grand Tours. Main goals of the season. I reckon that's not a bad idea. Oh. 2-star difficulty for it. I'm doing more than a stage top 10, mate. Lorenzo Finn is going to this race. Top 10 is possible, but I also could just select win 1 stage, and then I've got 5-star difficulty. What if I go for... What the fuck? Visibility 10? What is visibility 10? I know it's being visible in the races, but how do you get visibility 10 across an entire Grand Tour? 1 stage at the Giro, 1 stage at the Tour, 1 stage at the Vuelta. If we achieve that, we've got 92 happiness on 4 endurance sponsor, 100 on Siroko, and 98 on Dacia. We need to add 1 more goal. I really want to add Milano Sanremo, but we both know that's a bad idea. Itzulia Basque Country. Ooh. Do you hear that? Do you hear that sound? The soundtrack? Dum 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 dum. Ivan Romeo's coming. Okay, I need to stop doing that. I'm feeling cringe just thinking about it. What if we try to podium Itzulia Basque Country? Starting off with a 16-kilometer time trial. 3 punchy parcours. What did we do last year in that race? Do we know that? I don't remember. Basque Country. We won. We top 5'd 4 stages. And I think we crashed on the final stage, right? Was that Itzulia Basque Country? Where I lost my top 10? I don't remember. I think Basque Country is a good addition. 1 to 2 races per period. This is period 2, so I need 1 for period 1. It has to be Milano Sanremo then. Because I need 1 for the first quarter. And it's the only important race in the first quarter for a sponsor. Top 20 in MSR is too easy. Top 10, I think... Like, top 10 is 6 difficulties, so we definitely need to go with this. It's a free objective. But I also want to add Basque Country for fun. And I want to try and top 3 Basque Country. Top 5 is already 6-star difficulty. Top 10 is already 6-star difficulty. Bruh. Top 20 is already 6-star difficulty. What is going on? KOM! No, that's points. Okay. KOM is 6-star difficulty. QB Cycling in chat says, too many points, you're right. Our current total is 12. We can only use 10. So we have to scrap Itzulia. I know Emery says, Basque Country, you need to take that one over the Giro. I don't want to exploit the bug of this being super easy to get free happiness of my sponsor. I think I'll skip Basque Country because the Giro is, for me personally, more important. And in the grand scheme of the videos, more relevant. So I think I'll go with this. Win a stage at every Grand Tour. Top 10 MSR is such a cheat code. That's so stupid. Top 5? We should be able to top 5. I don't know. Let's pick top 10. I'll take one free objective. MSR. We'll go with that. So that's my race objective. Then obviously there's also the rider objectives themselves. But if I'm really honest, I think I'm going to do that off camera because we already went over who's going to ride which Grand Tour. I'll do Finn. I'll do one rider. So Finn is riding Giro, is riding Vuelta. I should actually clean up his whole list first. Scrap every objective. Come on. Such a long list. Holy shit. He was literally focusing on every race, this man. So Vuelta. What is happening here? Vuelta. Giro. And Tirreno? Or Catalunya? Or Down Under? I don't think he needs to be in best form to do Down Under, right? I think Tirreno's the one. Or can I just do all 4? January, March, May, Vuelta. Is that too much, chat? Peaking for Tour Down Under with Lorenzo Finn is silly, right? Then again, it's smart. I think Tirreno's the one, though, that I want to focus on as well. I think I'll do this. Skip Down Under in terms of objective. Tirreno and Catalunya as a focus. Then he's also very good at Milano-Sanremo. I think this is the most realistic. Because having Down Under as goal is a bit silly. I think this is the one. We could also do MSR Catalunya and then we will be a decent form at Tirreno. I'll try this. These are long peaks though. He's only got like 4 weeks, 3 weeks between Tirreno and Giro. I think I'll remove Catalunya. But I will make sure there's no tired, no sleep rest week after Tirreno. So I think this is better. So, just Tirreno, I think. There we go. And take away the rest week. I assume he's going to be pretty cooked for the last part of the Giro, but I can take away week 1 of the Giro. Because that's one hill stage, the first stage. He'll be fine on that hill stage. That gives him more time after Tirreno to get back into shape for the Giro. And Vuelta's normal, right? That's fair. Another example is, let's do Romeo, because he's arguably the most important rider of our team. Let's move some goals. Vuelta, Tour de France. Actually, you're right, chat. Matteo in chat shouts, you forgot about Lombardia. That is correct. I did forget about Lombardia. There we go. Back to Romeo. Romeo can do Paris-Nice or Itzulia. I can't do both, can I? Can I do both? I think I can do both, actually. Paris-Nice, then no rest week, then to Itzulia. try and be at good enough form, but not necessarily fitness speaking for both, then Romani and Swiss will be not ideal, but it's what we have to deal with. I can also just do Paris-Nice and Romani, right? You know? But I don't trust Paris-Nice as much as I do Etruria. I can win Etruria. I think this is it. Etruria, Romandy, Tour de France, Vuelta, Lombardia. I think that's the way to go. Matteo says LBL as well. Haven't added LBL to his schedule yet, and I'm not sure he's going to be the biggest guy for it. So for now, I would say no. He's only got 74 hill stat, you know? And also his other stats are not exactly LBL shouting. But that's the idea. Let's do Kubish for a second. Is I'm doing more riders than I said I would. Okay, so Tour Down Under. No, sorry, Tour de France. Close enough. Patrick would say they're the same. Tour Down Under, no. Why does he have a rest week on Omloop at Nieuwsblad? Bruh, what are you doing? Should I focus on Omloop? The race fits him best. Or should I focus on MSR? Ooh. Or should I focus on all the classics? I don't know. I don't know what to do here. Tour de France, definitely. I really like the idea of selecting Omloop and Kuurne as goals for Kubish. But I also want to be at my best for MSR. But if I choose that, I'm going to be rather weak for Dwars door Vlaanderen, RVV, and Paris-Roubaix. But that's fine because there Watson is leader. Watson is leader for Roubaix. Not Kubish. Oy, oy, oy. Where's Watson? So let's say I focus on RVV Roubaix with Watson. Tour de France. You can't combine Omloop and RVV Roubaix. It's just not going to happen. So for now, I'll put it on this, but don't worry. I'll add more races for these riders. I'll add a few more peaks off camera. I'll do that all tomorrow morning. But that's the idea behind the scheduling here. But to be honest, I feel like that's kind of it. There's lots of other stuff I want to do when it comes to season preparation, but I'm going to do all of that off camera. I think that's going to be the end of today's stream because I've been streaming 2 hours of season preparation and I do want to make something out of my evening still. So I think I'm going to be ending it here. So we've done season preparation, most of the calendars, planning. We've done some fitness level crap. We've gone over the riders for next season and I can't wait to get started with this career mode, which should start in a couple of days. I was hoping to get it out on the 3rd of January, the next episode, but I don't think it's going to work. So hopefully a few days after that, maybe the 4th, maybe the 5th. We'll see what happens, but I'm afraid that's the end of today's live stream. Thank you very much for everyone for showing up. I really enjoyed making this season preparation on this live stream. Back in the day, I did all this shit off camera. It's much more fun to do it on camera, on the live stream with you guys and seeing your opinion, you having some input on the calendar and stuff like that. But most importantly, I want to once again wish you, every single one of you, a Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas if you celebrate that already. And so yeah, I don't have much else to say, to be honest. I'm looking forward to the season starting and I hope you're just as hyped as I am for this. Plenty of content coming in 2026. I will also be posting a bit more pro cycling content, like talking about real life cycling in addition to PCM, in addition to me riding my bike. I will have a slower start to the season, as in the first 2 weeks of this January, I'll roll into the year, but I hope to move into 2 videos per week, maybe 3 videos per week by the end of January. So that's the plan for the year. But as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.